Hi guys, hey, good morning. It's almost afternoon out here at the Cuesta College vineyard. So May 9th of last year, our viticulture class planted a vineyard. We have a vineyard that is 77 vines. I know that sounds really puny to you guys. However, it's what we have, and it will be a great teaching facility for the students and other workshops that we're able to have here through the years. So today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about training grapevines, and particularly this video will be about training Magnum grapevines. So grapevines that have an existing trunk of about 24 inches and then are kind of near the middle of the stake here. So here's what we want to do. We're going to select one shoot, and that one shoot, which happens to be this shoot, it's in good line with the stake. Here's the face of the stake, so that the vine is going to come up the face, the side with the nubs on it, and then we'll put the wire there. So anyway, we're going to train this shoot up the stake, and we'll give it a couple of ties, and then we're going to come down below here, and we're actually going to go ahead and eliminate the shoots below here. As you break out these shoots, I would encourage you to be careful to not open up the bark of the plant. Actually, the bark of the plant will keep the vine healthy when we get our cold temperatures. And so when I'm just kind of, these are a little long, but I'm just breaking them down and then lifting them up, and that way I'm not opening up the bark. I could cut them off with my pruning shears. That's possible. As you know, with pruning shears, if you cut on the side of the vine with the blade, you will have a close cut on the blade, and so then you won't leave a nub. With these grape shoots, if you look at the right here at the very bottom of the grape shoot, the grape shoot has what we call a basal whorl of buds, and that basal whorl of buds contains 8 to 10 buds in a circle right here where it's been cut off the vine. And for instance, if you are pruning this, if you are using this next winter as a spur, actually a 2-bud, this would be your first count bud here, 1, 2, and then this would be severed right here. So in training, it's important that we don't leave the bottom of the shoot on the trunk. Otherwise, you will get suckers growing throughout many years, and those training costs will be significantly higher. So I'm going to just break out this last one here, and then just go ahead, and we're gonna go ahead then and tie this shoot to the stake. And when we tie the shoot to the stake, what we're gonna do is, this shoot would require about 2 ties. It's important to not put too many ties on the vine, because it's an economic consideration. Obviously, we're all in it's a very difficult grape market right now. A lot of wineries are dropping contracts with the virus. Of course, the on-premise sales are shot, so demand is changing. So we need to be really economical about our vineyard decisions, and that's always, for me, that's always a first consideration when I'm thinking about vineyard decisions. So I would put 2 ties on this vine. I'm going to put one right where my hand is here, and then one just a little higher. I'm going to make sure the last tie is 8 to 10 inches below the tip of the green shoot, because I don't want to tie it in a way that will damage that developing shoot. In this trellis system, I'm going to run a wire here between these top 2 nubs, right up here, and so the vine will be able to grow up to that height, and then we'll talk in just a bit about topping that vine. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and tie the chute to the stake. I have Sinead here helping me because my hand doesn't work too well at this point. So we're just going to put 2 ties on this. I'm using white tying tape. Obviously that isn't a color we usually use in the vineyard. However, it really does stand out. And so we're wrapping the chute twice. I actually prefer to do that. She's being really careful to make sure that the tape is still not folded when she wraps it around the plant. And so, and then she's tying the knot opposite the plant. Oftentimes we like to tie the knot away from the plant because if the knot is someplace other than right on the trunk itself, that way it'll preserve the health of the trunk. Also too, as she's tying this, she's making a real effort not to stretch the tape or tighten it. Now I know some of you would only do a single wrap on this, but we found I found over the years if I do a double wrap, it still maintains the trunk in the right position. And I'm gonna lose that just a touch. Roll this over. It still maintains the trunk in the right position, but I think it saves on training cost the next year, because now down in these areas, we're not going to have to retie this vine. A lot of times, if you have a single tape loop around the vine here, it's almost guaranteed that after the next season's pruning, so in the spring of next year when you guys are pruning these vines, that you'll have to completely retie the trunk, and I'm just trying to save a little labor.